During Vegeta's hunt for the Dragon Balls, he would still kill anyone in his way, even Bulma if he wanted to. Just the distractions by Zarbon stopped him. But due to the Dragon Balls being a top priority, he let Krillin and Bulma live that one time. It just depends what side of the bed he woke up on. He knew Krillin was no issue to him there, and so he just continued with his mission. But that's not to say he wouldn't just do it. He's still the same Vegeta as on Earth. Maybe at this point we could argue he's just getting even for when Krillin spared his life. That's just a theory, as he doesn't want to be in anyone's debt. But even Krillin said it's a miracle they are still alive. If you want to stay alive against Vegeta back then, just don't be a threat to him. And this is backed up because he did give a number of hours to the Earthlings in waiting for Kakarot to arrive. So he's not just a murder-hungry warrior for no reason. Throughout the course of Namek, Vegeta would begin to change ever so slightly, and that mainly came down to the circumstances, with there being many more threats such as the Ginyu Force and Frieza. Vegeta deep down didn't care about Gohan and Krillin, but he knew he had to work with them to survive. Furthermore, when Goku arrived, he basically knew he was at Goku's mercy due to the power difference. He swallowed his pride and continued his quest. It may have seemed like he was acting like the good guy for this part of Namek, but the truth was, he wasn't. He still had his selfish motives. He just allied with Goku and the gang to take down the bigger threat. Killing Goku was still something he wanted to do later down the line, and it was Vegeta's drive for this Super Saiyan legend that kept him ticking, kept his adrenaline high, through all of the Namek struggles against Frieza. When Frieza entered his second form and crushed Gohan on the ground, we could even see Vegeta's true feelings then. He still didn't care if Gohan died. He still had his selfish goals in mind, and that is the show of a villain. But we could start to say Vegeta had now become the anti-villain, as Frieza was the larger threat. However, he wasn't good-spirited. The ultimate turning point of Vegeta came when he realized he wasn't a Super Saiyan. The confidence, ego, adrenaline, excitement just all vanished, and he was left with an empty vessel of a body, no longer able to suppress the pain he's endured all his life. Realizing after all of this, he is still Frieza's possession. Vegeta's spirit was crushed, but because he could no longer hold all that pain and suffering back with that ego, he poured out all those feelings to Goku whilst he was dying. He placed his faith in Goku to be the Super Saiyan. Hell, he didn't like Goku in the slightest, but his Saiyan race and pride meant everything to him. And because Goku was the last remaining Saiyan, that was better to beat Frieza than no Saiyan at all. His heartbreaking speech came out, telling Goku about the way he grew up and why he's a cold bastard. Goku felt the pain of Vegeta and could see that Vegeta didn't want that life deep down. He was forced into it. It was like Vegeta was trying to escape himself, but he couldn't. The years of acting strong and merciless provided Vegeta with that shield to cope with life. His dying wish for Kakarot to beat Frieza was the beginning of peace between Goku and Vegeta. At least on a physical level when Vegeta came back to life. He still played on that destroying Kakarot thing. But I believe after the events of Namek, he didn't want to kill Kakarot anymore, but his goal was just to beat him so bad that he can show that he is the greatest Saiyan. I think the killing Kakarot motive ended after Namek personally. And that is backed up because when he is on Earth, for the brief time after Namek, at least in the anime, Vegeta could have easily mopped the floor with Gohan and Piccolo, but after whipping Gohan in the little backyard brawl, he did indeed back off when Piccolo intervened. This showed me that Vegeta was still a jerk, would still beat your ass, but he had those memories of fighting alongside Gohan and Piccolo, and it was that small respect he had for them that stopped him going for the kill. He would never show that little bit of respect to them, but you knew it was there deep down, and it was always shown between him and Piccolo in a weird way. They loved to hate each other, but the evil side of Vegeta was slowly diminishing. He was growing into a new man. In the times of peace, he was driven by the internal goal of becoming a Super Saiyan, and rightfully so. That's a legend that has been embedded into his head since he was a child, and after seeing Goku as a Super Saiyan, he damn right believes he deserves that even more. Now, between the time after teleporting from Namek to the point Trunks arrives, Vegeta undergoes the Pink Bad Man arc. And in this arc, I will honestly say that was a massive deal to his character, which continued to encourage his personality to go from a villain to a hero. He was nowhere near a hero at this point, but you couldn't label him as a villain either because he met the Earthlings, experienced their way of life, and actually in a selfish way found use of Earth by using its facilities, probably eating a ton of its food, sleeping in a peaceful bed at night. Vegeta was changing, he was becoming accustomed to Earth's way, but the biggest change to his personality was due to the fact he was surrounded by peaceful people for that duration. Bulma, Yamcha, Bulma's family, and many more. Bulma always showed him kindness. Sure, she was annoying at times, but when he hurt himself in training, she would care for him. And I feel that kindness of Bulma, meeting Bulma, was one of the biggest things to impact Vegeta's life. Think of how much of a difference that would be to your mood instead of being surrounded by Zarbon and Dodoria on a daily basis. Yeah, a big deal. It was almost like the true Vegeta deep down was starting to awake, but it wasn't quite there yet. The arrogant prince with a lust for power was still in the driver's seat of his personality, but his kill-at-will personality, I believe that had fizzled out. Just to showcase how his mentality changed, Goku returns and he asks Vegeta in the tournament if he wants to go and watch the youths fight, and Vegeta agrees. And if you think about it, this is totally a different Vegeta. If Goku recommended anything casual in the past, Vegeta would have told him to get lost. But why is he going with Goku this time? It is because of Trunks. And this further strengthens how he's slowly been changing his priorities, ever since defending Trunks after Cell killed him. But it wasn't until Goku arrived back for one day that Vegeta's old Saiyan blood began boiling once again. And what was the cause of this? Vegeta never expected Goku to return, so why did he act the way he did? Well, it's simple. When Goku died, he left Vegeta feeling empty, and at that moment, he had to adapt and change for his own welfare. But when Goku returned, it was almost as if he reawakened the old Vegeta inside, like some unfinished business, and Vegeta caved into it, almost like regressing inner growth. Even in some comic relief moments, he was trying to live through his son when Trunks beat Goten, rubbing it in Goku's face that he is better than Kakarot to some degree. The rivalry was still there at that point, albeit in a small portion, but it was brewing at that point, and it surfaced greatly when he got the chance to fight Goku in the tournament. He wanted to fight Goku to at least restore some of that lost pride years ago, as demonstrated in his epic dialogue, but Vegeta never truly lost who he became over those 7 years. He did not truly believe he wanted to be that evil Vegeta once again. All of that was a front. It was like skeletons in the closet and he had to get rid of it. And fighting Goku was the only way for him to do it and set himself free from his old ways. To find out if that really was his motivation anymore. Vegeta loved Bulma and Trunks even whilst fighting Goku. But he had to let his hair down this final time. His previous life and goals were taken away from him when Goku died. The whole Majin Vegeta phase was a moment of realization to him, of what he truly cared about in those times. It was Vegeta versus Vegeta. Sure, he was still the arrogant, cocky asshole when he needed to be, but the old Vegeta's ambitions were gone and he grew into a stronger person inside and out. And this is all justified when Vegeta knocks out Goku. He sensed Majin Buu's power and he knew the truth. He knew he was carried away with his old inferior ambitions of fighting Goku. It was nothing of importance to who he had truly become in terms of a family man. Knocking Goku out proved a few things. Number 1, he didn't want to kill Goku like he used to. Number 2, he didn't feel Goku was as important anymore compared to the bigger threats in life. And 3, the most important, he wanted to fight Majin Buu himself. Not out of Saiyan pride, it was because he felt it was his responsibility as Earth's protector, and also due to it being his fault Buu was hatched. He felt Goku and Gohan always were the ones saving the Earth, whilst he just remained in the backseat watching. But now, he was the one who was alive. He was the one with the family to protect. It was his time to save the world from evil, and Vegeta wanted his heroic moment once and for all because he probably felt inferior, not in terms of power, but morality. After being around Goku and his friends for so long, he wanted to prove himself to himself. To further support this, that all of the Majin Vegeta persona was bullshit, was due to the fact he sensed Gohan's ki had vanished, and he said he was sorry. He truly cared about Gohan, and had developed emotion for others, despite him never wanting to show it in front of anyone. And he damn sure never wanted to show it in front of the returning Kakarot. Compare this to years ago, when he didn't even care if Gohan would die. Vegeta's death against Majin Buu symbolized who he had become. He says goodbye to Trunks, Bulma, and Goku. And I felt this was partly to level the score with Goku's death against Cell. Seeing Goku dying without fear, how can the inferior feeling Vegeta ever match that? Well, he also had to show no fear. Vegeta's death against Buu was how he wanted it. He chose it and constructed his own destiny. Why else would he say goodbye to Kakarot if he held a grudge against him? He didn't. He realized this after 7 years, and through the Majin Vegeta phase, that even when Goku returned to resurface his old emotions, it still wasn't enough to overpower the stronger, caring man that he had become. And those old emotions were petty in the bigger picture of life. When Vegeta's halo disappeared and he came back to life, that was a big turning point. Vegeta didn't want to become a good guy. He didn't wish for the people of Earth to come back to be a good guy. No, he did those things because that's who he truly became. He could have wished for immortality, but that sort of power didn't fit with who he was anymore. The respect Vegeta showed Goku during that fight with Kid Buu helped Vegeta a lot in terms of his acceptance and who he was. He no longer lied to himself, he faced the truth, and that was huge for his character. He was more at peace with himself. When Kid Buu was defeated, his story from villain to hero became complete. The Vegeta we saw at the end of Z and in GT was a true showcase of character development. The family man who could still kick your ass. His morals were in the right place, even more than Goku's. Vegeta has always been Goku's rival. He always wants to surpass him, right? While he still likes to fight Goku from time to time, Vegeta now only trains hard every day in the hope of surpassing his own limits. This is why the Japanese version of Dragon Ball GT is so critically important for the correct dialogue and narrative, because there is an episode in the Shadow Dragons arc where Vegeta literally talks about his past rivalry with Goku, where it was damn right an unhealthy obsession. That Vegeta does not view Goku as his rival in terms of a life goal. A rival is meant to symbolize someone to rival, be close to. He had accepted where he and Kakarot were in terms of power and stopped chasing him. Instead, he did his own thing, becoming stronger his own way. But like I said, it doesn't mean he doesn't like to fight Kakarot. He's a Saiyan for Kami's sake. Who better to get his Saiyan blood boiling in battle than Kakarot, right? But you could even argue, before Goku went Super Saiyan 4, Vegeta was the strongest because Baby even stated he had acquired the mightiest of Saiyan power. Vegeta did his own thing and got better his own way, and he realized that. But then Super Saiyan 4 happened, and it doesn't work Vegeta up at all. Not like Goku turning Super Saiyan did in Z. Look at the difference there. So yeah, Vegeta does not view Goku as a rival anymore, but he likes to fight him, as displayed on the bridge after the Baby Saga. Vegeta never hoped he would surpass Goku anymore. He was past all of that. The unhealthy obsession in the past held him back, if anything, by doing his own thing, being his own man, following his own path, losing the chip on his shoulder. Vegeta became better all around. Now, bearing in mind, Vegeta is a guy who is now only curious about his own limits, where he finds out from Bulma that he can become a Super Saiyan 4 as well. He's clearly just said he stopped chasing Kakarot in that episode. But that doesn't mean the dude isn't hyped or excited to test his power against Kakarot now he's acquired something of a great deal. Think about it. This guy has been humble and accepted him as his own man for 20 years. He gets a power surge, he's going to be bubbling to fight it out. This doesn't mean he's hoping to surpass Kakarot. Vegeta didn't care. But now he got a chance to become this power. The guy is going about this, and you know what's cool? It's not pressurizing for him. It's a Saiyan thing. He's hyped up and ready for a good old battle, win, lose, or draw. Even when Goku had Super Saiyan 4 and he didn't care. So let's go back and talk about that bridge scene after the baby fight. Vegeta appeared on the bridge and wanted to challenge Goku. Look guys, Vegeta didn't give a flying nimbus. Goku's stomach growled and Vegeta pissed his pants laughing. This was clearly put in as a fan service moment after such a big arc where Goku and Vegeta square up like old times. This is pure comedy and shouldn't be taken serious like he's the Vegeta of old. This supports what I said earlier about how he likes to fight Kakarot but not obsess over it. Even if he had a scrap with Goku, the dude isn't even worried about his pride knowing Super Saiyan 4 can trash him there, truly showing us how GT Vegeta has grown as a character and has different priorities. He's still a Saiyan, the dude will want to battle here and there. Next up, we have this scene in the Super 17 saga where they were saying something to try and undermine Vegeta fighting, devaluing his spirit by bringing up Goku to save everybody, to make Vegeta feel worthless. And all I'm going to say here is, what Vegeta is saying about Kakarot this, Kakarot that, the dude is in the heat of the battle. He's being taunted. You're going to shout something back to the enemy to keep your own spirits high for the fight. Imagine he turned around and said, "Yes, you're right. Goku will save us all. I'll just stand over there." GT Vegeta would go down fighting until death. He's gonna shout stuff out of pure instinct and rage to help fight back and not let his confidence get knocked in battle. Vegeta clearly knows he's not number one compared to Goku. He can't even wield Super Saiyan 4 at this point. The episode in the Shadow Dragon arc is basically Vegeta contemplating all of his decisions and moving on. Is this it for him? Is this his life now? And Lord behold, even when he got Super Saiyan 4, he was the one who came up with the fusion idea. This dude didn't let Super Saiyan 4 go to his head in defeating Kakarot, not like the old days when he gained Super Saiyan. Vegeta knew the Earth, family, and his friends were a priority. It's important to realize this. Vegeta is aging, growing. He's got the right to review his life decisions at this point. The dude is mentally strong enough, handling Goku as being a better man now and again. Not like the old days. He doesn't view Goku as a rival anymore because he doesn't use Kakarot as motivation to get stronger. If he does get a surge of power to become Super Saiyan 4 like he did, you bet your ass he's going to be fired up to test it on Kakarot after 20 years. The only difference is he never hoped for it. And maybe then, maybe he would consider Kakarot a rival for battle purposes, but in life, GT Vegeta was way past that. He was his own man.